Now, I know in the past I've made videos, really talking down and not recommending the mystery tackle box, but today that's exactly what we're going to be opening. This is the first of 2 mystery box unboxings coming on this channel. So my girlfriend actually got me a Tackle Bros box for Christmas, and this has some JDM stuff and just a little more higher end, more unique baits that I'm happy to get into. But today I wanted to take a look at the original first. So this is the one that you can get retail. It was actually picked up from a Walmart in the US, here in Niagara Falls, I believe. And it was gifted by my mother, so I'm not going to go into pricing or anything like that. It doesn't feel right since it was a gift, but they say they come in around a $25 value. I believe that. They've been around for so long, and people have done so many openings on these boxes where you get your value, the money that you put into this box. The thing that I want to look at though is this general use stuff that's gonna get bit in pretty much anywhere, or is this just kind of weird colors and stuff that they're having a hard time selling? That's always been my question with mystery boxes. Is it stuff that you actually buy if you saw it on a shelf? So you pull it out of the little retail sleeve there, and there you have it, just your standard mystery tackle box packaging that I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen in videos before, not from me but from other YouTubers. This here is box number 222. Not that it means anything to me, but it might to you. So as we unbox here, classic mystery tackle box. You got your little ruler. They do their MTV Keeper contest. Just post some pictures with baits. Overall, I've always liked the presentation on these mystery tackle boxes. I just think it has a good aesthetic to it. The website, the Carl's Bait and Tackle site, I love what they do. Their marketing is very well done. So Carl's Bait and Tackle has a couple of their own kind of brands. I don't know if it's their brands or how it really works, if they just kind of work with them. 10,000 Fish, Biospawn, Googan Squad are really the main ones that I think of when I think of that company. And overall, I've used 10,000 Fish before, I've used Googan Squad before, and they do have some good products. So, I'm more than happy to get that sort of stuff in this box. So we're going to dig in here. I'll just flash these baits on the screen. We'll take a look at them, and I'll dissect what they are and, how I would fish them. Starting off strong, we have here the Googan Mini Zinger. This is just a standard spinner bait. This is a 1/4 ounce spinner bait. It has 2 blades on here. It has a gold Colorado blade, number 2, and a number 3 willow and silver. So, you have a hand tie skirt on there as well, and white and chartreuse for your skirt color, a Colorado willow. This is basically my perfect spinner bait. So Googan Squad gets a lot of hate for their plastics and that sort of thing online, and from what I can tell, it's justified. I haven't used any, so I can't really say, but I've used their jigs and their spinner baits before, and I really like the quality of them. So everything is pretty high quality here. You have your wire. Your wire isn't too thin or anything. You have this green O-ring here holding your wire, where your line tie is. That's just litter to me. That's going to come right off as soon as you put that in the water. One sloop pull, there you go, your O-ring's gone. So I don't even know. Is it only just for packaging maybe? Like, why do they put those on there? I don't really understand. If you want to make that closed loop for your line, you would just close that up. There's tons of spinner baits on the market that do that. So to add this little green O-ring is, it's just a waste to me. I don't know, whatever. But anyways, you have pretty high quality jig here. It's a 1/4 ounce, so it's a nice compact jig head. I like that they have the weight imprinted on there, so it says a 1/4 ounce. I don't like labeling stuff in my tackle box, so having the ability to just know what size my jig is, just a lot of times, 1/4, 3/8, 1/2 ounce, you can really just tell by holding it. But I don't know, having that written on the jig is just something that I like about them that not really many companies do. So as I said, that skirt is hand tied on. This is something that I just got into, so I like seeing hand tied skirts. Just when you get the rubber bands, a lot of times they tend to just break off or things like that, and so having the hand tie is obviously great. That skirt is pretty good quality. It seems even enough on there. I don't have to worry about shifting some pieces around or anything, so I like that. Everything here is just a pretty high quality. Googan Squad baits, as a lot of you have used before, they're pretty good. So far, first bait is a pretty good one in my eyes, and I like what I got. Next up, we have a craw. This is the 10,000 Fish Saw Craw. Inspired by the innovation and craftsmanship long associated. Next up, from 10,000 Fish, we have the Saw Craw. This is a very standard, craw soft plastic. They call it the Max Action patented claw design with an infused scent and salt. Why this is a patented claw design, I don't really understand, because to be honest, I've seen similar claws. Now the back of this bag says this is inspired by the innovation and craftsmanship long associated with the Japanese lure market. So what is the inspiration from the Japanese lure market? I don't see. Maybe this is just a lot of marketing hoopla, but it's a pretty high quality looking craw. Now, in the past I've made videos fishing the Sakoshi bug from 10,000 Fish. It's more of like a Ned style bait. One that it was actually probably my first Ned bait that I threw, and I really liked it. And that was in the black and blue colors. So, you know, it's nice to have this now in my arsenal. But it's not anything crazy. It's just a standard craw bait, right? So, you know, flip it and pitch it. I mean, you could even use it as a jig trailer. It's a little big for what the kind of jigs that I throw. I'm usually throwing finesse jigs, so it's a little big for that for me. But, you know, you could always take off, you know, segments of your body and turn it into like a chunk trailer if you want to do that. These claws look like they're definitely going to have lots of movement. They're pretty big. And as you see, it has that, you know, where it's thick on the end there. And like I said, that's a pretty standard claw shape from what I can see. I know, for example, Missile has a chunk trailer that has that similar claw style, and it's actually kind of my preferred claw. Yeah, I find, you know, you get a good action out of this. They're really going to flutter in the water as they come down. So yeah, so just pull your little pieces of plastic, pull your appendages apart, and look at that. Now you got so much movement in this thing. Like I said, fish on the bottom. You know, just on like maybe like I guess Texas rig, things like that, jig trailer. This will work good. It's a very good high quality bait. Next up we have from Lake Fork Trophy Lures the Hyper Stick in 5-inch green pumpkin gold and purple flake color. So this is basically a standard stick bait, except they have kind of a different style we're gonna look at. Ooh, and that is a strong smell. Yeah, again, this one is garlic and salt impregnated, and I definitely smell that garlic. Not as bad as the 10,000 Fish one, but not a great smell. What I like is, you know, it's a standard stick bait, but as you can see, they've made some thin pieces, and you know, that'll make it a lot less durable, and fish will be easily just break that apart. So you'll go through these very quickly. I'm kidding, obviously. This is going to give you more movement in the water, right? So this is made to be Texas rigged. When I first opened this on Christmas morning, I was like, oh, sweet, like a really cool looking wacky rig kind of bait. But the problem is this one specifically, you know, these aren't really even, so your wacky rig is going to kind of go like a little weird, I bet, in the water. I'd have to test this out, and I'm sure I will once, you know, our water stops freezing up here. And when we get some warm weather, I mean, I will be throwing this a lot. A wacky rig Senko is something I do throw. But this one looks to be more like a Texas rig kind of thing, because looking on the back of the bag here, they also have a Hyper Whackin' Worm. And I'll show you that one there. See, so that kind of is more of your wacky rig style, where it's an even worm. This one is, you know, kind of off-centered with that plastic chunk there. So this is more of a Texas rig style, I guess. So, you know, you'd have your hook in here, and that's going to fall, and this tail is going to go all wonky. In theory, having, you know, the thinner plastic pieces, that will, you know, impart more action, and so it's kind of neat. To me, I think the Senko is a bait that doesn't really need action. You know, it kind of just slightly flutters as it goes down in the water column. So, either way, something a little different, something that's going to be fun to try. That color is a very good color, green pumpkin. Green pumpkin anything is a very good color, so I'm not mad about that color. Next up we have from Biospawn the Rattlebot, and this thing is out of my domain, man. I mean, it's essentially just a lipless crankbait. This is in the gold shad color. It's 2.5 inches, half-ounce weight, and it's a funky looking lipless crankbait. The coloring is really cool on this. So it's actually a matte gold color. It's got a little bit of shine to it. The black on top there. Got some gold sparkle in there. Everything feels high quality just from holding. I mean, it looks ugly though, doesn't it? Like, it's like supposed to be like a robot fish. I get it. Biospawn is kind of these sort of like exoskeleton, exosuit, like futuristic robot fish kind of lures. So I get why they do it, but it's a little too funky for me, man. I like my baits to just kind of look like standard, you know, fish species. Either way, I don't think fish are going to care at all. So this is a pretty cool looking lipless crankbait. Pretty heavy. It does have some rattle in there. Pretty good rattle, so nice and loud. These hooks are super sticky trebles. Overall, yeah, pretty nice hard bait if that's something you're into throwing. I never reach for a lipless crank, so maybe I should start. Maybe that's what this is telling me. Either way, pretty nice high quality bait. I can't be mad about them including this. I just so happen to save the best for last. This is a pack of some EWG hooks. Yeah, 4/0 EWG worm hooks from Sandbar Tackle. Pretty neat to see like a smaller terminal tackle company, Sandbar Tackle, based out of Corpus Christi, Texas. I've never heard of this brand. It's pretty far from me, so either way, these are pretty nice looking EWGs, pretty high enough quality. And I mean, these are like extra wide gap hooks, but this will kind of pair well with your craw and your little, you know, hyper sticks. So I'll rig one of these up just to see how it looks. As per usual in these videos, I totally butcher it when I rig it up, but here it is on that Sandbar EWG hook, the hyper stick. And as you can see, I mean, you're gonna get lots of dangle out of this thing. So I don't know, do you fish it with weights? Do you fish it weightless? I'm sure you can do both, but you know, what really elevates the action on this bait, I'm not sure. Either way, it's not bad. I mean, it's a stick bait, right? So you can't go wrong. Before I get my final thoughts, I will just show you some inserts. You got this little card here with a QR code for some tips and tricks. So, you know, if that's what you need, go for it. I think, you know, these boxes are made for beginners, so including that sort of stuff is pretty neat. We got a sticker. I don't really care for this one. I know sometimes you get some pretty cool stickers in these just from watching unboxings. Of course, I get one that's a little weird. But overall, pretty cool, man. I mean, it almost looks like AI art, so it is what it is. Here we have the Dibble. This is like a little booklet with lots of tips and tricks in it. This is pretty neat. I know, you know, guys always kind of look forward to this. It has some, you know, hook tying diagrams, which is alright. So that's good to have. Just some tips on finding bass, which is always cool. And then finish off with your MTV keepers. I'm not sure if that Dibble is monthly or how often they change it out in the boxes, but either way, it's a nice fun inclusion that's good for beginners. I mean, the tips they put in there are basic stuff. It's really like, you know, kind of just default information you'd give to somebody starting to fish. But you know, if you're a beginner and you're just looking to grab stuff, that's what you need, right? So overall, if you're a beginner, I'm gonna go a little bit back on my word here and actually recommend this mystery tackle box. Now the problem I have is that they're not all gonna be this good, but this one's a very nice standard little box with a few items that you're gonna have fun using. A green pumpkin stick bait is a bait you're gonna be able to throw all year round in any part of the continent, and you will catch bass on it. You know, they give you these Texas rig hooks, so you can just do that and you can throw that and have a lot of fun. Or you can, you know, pick up some wacky rig hooks, you can wacky rig that thing. Whatever you want to do, I mean, you can experiment with it and have some fun. A black and blue craw, same kind of thing. That's such a nice standard color. It's something that you can just, you know, really start to use and get good at with. The spinnerbait, you know, a spinnerbait's great. You don't even need a plastic trailer to throw with that. So, you know, it's a good inclusion. It's better than, you know, a finesse jig or something like that, in my opinion, for a beginner. That lipless crank's a little oddball, but I mean, a lipless crank, you can just chuck it out, especially if you're fishing from a boat. It works pretty well. From the bank, I just struggle to use anything with trebles, so it's a miss for me, but it's good to have in my arsenal. You also, of course, get a bunch of little inserts with a bunch of information, so, you know, you can soak that in, and it's a pretty good way to just, you know, fill out your tackle box if you are a beginner angler. These go on sale a lot, actually on clearance at Walmart. I've seen them before, so pick one up and you never know, it might not be bad. If you're a longtime fisherman, you kind of go through this thing and just go, you're not going to have a crazy reaction. It's stuff that, you know, I'm sure you've used before, and really at the end of the day, you know, do you need another bag of stick baits or another bag of craws? Probably not. I know I sure don't, but either way, it's going to be fun to throw this stuff and give it a try. So like I said before, next week I have another unboxing video going up, and I hope to do more in the future. I mean, I'm starting to like these boxes and starting to get into them. It's pretty interesting to see what you get, of course, and I hope it is a little bit more exciting for you guys than my usual unboxings. Either way, tons of tackle talk and that sort of thing on this channel, so please subscribe if you want to see more of that. Please leave a like if you did like, and comment, you know, and tell me what you think. I hope you all are able to have a wonderful day, and tight lines out there.